AITA for only taking my nieces in and not their dad after my sister passed away. My F33 sister F36 passed away a month ago because of cancer. It's devastating and words can't express how we feel. Her husband struggled to pay off debts and has asked me and my husband to take him and my nieces age 13 and 16 in for some time. I have to say that I'm not on good terms with him. We've had more than our fair share of disagreements in the past. He tried to sue me and my husband for my own mother's house, which I'm living in with my husband and daughter. But he claimed he needed money to pay for my sister's treatment, and this was the only way to get it after my brother and I, refused help. It's a long story, but we're not on good terms. I agreed to only take my nieces in but not him. He tried to negotiate this, saying his daughters are grieving and need him, their remaining parent, to be around. I said he could see them during visits and that was it. My husband agreed with me at first. My brother-in-law showed up with my nieces days ago and I only let the girls in but turned him away after he tried to talk me into letting him stay. We had a huge argument and the girls went inside crying after their dad left, repeatedly saying they want him. My husband is backing out of this, saying we might be making a mistake separating the girls from their dad when they're grieving. My aunt berated me, saying I messed up entirely here. I argued that it's my home and I don't feel comfortable with him staying after what he's done. She called me selfish and bitter and said I'm making it more difficult for the girls who just lost their mom. Now the girls are quiet, but my 16-year-old niece keeps arguing about wanting her dad with them. My husband still thinks we're making a mistake and getting the girls to resent me to what I did to their dad who's grieving. Info. You gotta explain this whole lawsuit thing before you're going to get a true judgment here. Info needed. This seems very relevant. Why did he sue you over the house? Was the home willed to both you and your sister after your mom died? Why are you the only one living in it? Did you buy out your sister's share of the home? What was the outcome of the lawsuit? Info. Can you elaborate on what happened that led to him suing you? What was your sister's reaction? How did it proceed? Info. I need a bit more info on being sued for your mom's house. Was this house left to you and your sister? Or just you? Why did your Bill, and presumably sister, feel they had a right to part of the house? You're not obliged to house that man. But honestly, this feels kinda grubby, worrying about strangers on the internet's judgment of you, when your nieces have lost their mom and will fear they're losing their dad now too. The judgment could be anything from no assholes to everybody's an asshole, depending on the missing info. Info. I really must know why he sued you and what that was about. If it was truly not justified, then I can understand concern over him residing in your home and attempting to make claim over it. But if it was justified, then it really paints you in a negative light. Info. Without knowing about the lawsuit, it is impossible to make a judgment. It could have been justified and another example of you being in awe. It could have been frivolous and an example of why you shouldn't let him in your home. Explain the suing up. Info. I think there are some major pieces missing from this story. Where is your Bill staying? Can his daughters not stay with him as well? Is it not a safe environment? There are a lot of powerful emotions in play right now, and I don't think we have the whole story. My aunt berated me, saying I messed up entirely here. She called me selfish and bitter and said I'm making it more difficult for the girls who just lost their mom. Info. Have you asked your aunt when to drop your nieces off so all three can live together in her place? ETA. More practically, info is also needed why he felt the right to sue you, and how you ended up with 100% of your mom's house. It may be relevant to the judgment. I can't make a decision without knowing why he sued you. Did your sister own an interest in the house? You say you and your brother refused to help your sister. Why? Not that you are obligated, but your reasoning makes a difference in the verdict. I feel like there's just not enough info or backstory here. Why did he sue you? He'd have to feel entitled to the house in some way to go after it. I have to be honest. This whole thing reads like someone who is purposefully leaving out details in order to make themselves look better. Based on just the brief outline you've sketched for us, it really seems like you're the asshole. Splitting up a family in mourning over a grudge and hurting your nieces further when you could take in their father really makes you sound bad. If there's more to the story, you might want to put it out there. Otherwise, I agree with your aunt. Just one question. Why doesn't the aunt take them in? Info. I don't think a real judgment can be rendered without more info about the legal situation. The money was for treatment? What did your sister say? Why sue for the house? Why didn't you want to help pay for treatment? Were other family members helping financially? What is going on with the lawsuit? Was your late sister meant to have part of the house? Is the debt from her medical care? You aren't necessarily obligated to take in anyone. But where is all this legal stuff coming from? I think y'all living together is terrible. Just because of the history. Not from a moral standpoint, but from a, well, this won't end well. 1. Was your late sister entitled to something she never received? Or was he suing just to sue? Info. You throw away $3,679,656. You haven't answered any follow-up questions. Many of these are valid. What were the specifics of the lawsuit? What were the grounds for the claim? Who was the executor of your mother's estate? Info. I think we need more information to make a better judgment. Why did he sue you over the house? Was the home willed to both you and your sister after your mom died? Why are you the only one living in it? Did you buy out your sister's share of the home? What was the outcome of the lawsuit? Is the lawsuit the only reason you dislike Tour Bill? Info. Why can't they all stay with the aunt that is berating you? Does your brother-in-law have any family that can take them all in? Or do they have a home they can all stay in together as an option? Info. Claimed he needed money to pay for my sister's treatment and this was the only way to get it after my brother and I, refused yo help. Something happened that would make you the asshole in this situation. That move he did seems more like a desperation in trying to help his wife. Can you give more context on this? Edit. YTA. We are missing key relevant information on this issue. We don't know why the lawsuit came up. Regarding help, did her and her brother refuse or are not able to help? Two very different things. Also, why was the aunt on her ass about what she's doing? We're only seeing the perspective of OP, and the missing information CONVINIENTLY paints them out to a person being hounded by her brother-in-law. OP knows what she's doing. You are clearly leaving out a lot of information, especially regarding the lawsuit. That suggests the lawsuit was justified. More so because it was the house of your and your sister's mom. You are trying to cheat your sister and Bill out of the inheritance, aren't you? You can tell us. Why can't your aunt take them in? Why does it have to be you?
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.